don't give in. Yeah. Miles and miles you will have been.
Well, hello everybody, it's Suffing Andy here at Hemmingstone. Yes, a little place tucked out, right out of the way. We've been here a couple of three times. I really do like this place with the little church and whatever. So, shall we get on with the ride? Very small roads out here. Very rural. Not good for pigeons. Right, what should we talk about today? I haven't actually done a subject thing for ages. It's always been ride outs and meetups and stuff like that, you know. So I think what I'm going to do is just ride, see what comes into my head, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about YouTube, shall we? Yeah, let's talk about YouTube. I've seen a lot of people come and I've seen a lot of people go, and just lately I've seen a lot of people who started at the same time as me sort of calling it a day, getting fed up with it, or just not getting anything out of it anymore, you know. And I wonder what you thought, because nothing can actually stay the same, you know. Nothing does. Everything has to change, revolve, and go into something else, a different way, a different shape. Everything has to change. And thinking about my own channel now, has it changed much? Not really. I think when I started I was probably a little bit more light-hearted. A little bit, if you look at some of my early stuff like the caravan one and the jogging one and the camping one, were probably a little bit more funny, I should imagine. They were to me anyway at the time. But have I changed over the last couple of years? I don't think so. Yeah, everything has to change. Everything has to evolve into a different style or a different way of presenting something. They do. And like I said earlier, I've seen some very good vloggers starting to pack it in now after 3-4 years. Ones that started before me, very quiet now. I don't know if they're burnt out or they're just fed up with it, you know, because it is quite an effort to keep turning out content, you know, week after week. Even if you only do, like I do, probably one vlog a week, you know. And sometimes I can't do that if the weather's really bad and the winter's coming, which it is. Oh, thank you, lights. Yeah, so I don't know what sort of changes you've sort of seen over the course of the last 3 years. If you've been watching YouTube and motovlogging, have you seen a change? Do you think a change is due? Do you think we should start doing stuff a bit different? Maybe people like me have been doing it for a few years and maybe a little bit more closed in, a little bit more boxed in on our views of what we do. Or do you think we need some new ideas to invigorate it? I don't think motovlogging is what it was. I think the heyday was about 4 years ago. Before I even started was the heyday, where people could start and put out content and get very, very big sub bases very quickly. I don't think that is happening anymore unless you're very, very different or very, very interesting. So I don't know if you would like to see some sort of change in it, you know. But if we had to do a change, what would that change be? How could we change the way that we do motovlogging? You've got to have a motorbike, you've got to have a camera, and you've got to have a rider, and you've got to have ideas, views, subjects, and you've got to keep that coming all the time. You know, I'm just rambling on here, making stuff up as I go along. I don't know where you think we're going to land up with this at all, if we land up with it at all anywhere else, you know. Where we're going to be with this in, say, another 3 years' time or another 6 months. Is it more the same or more the less? Like I said earlier, do you think that we've hit the brick wall with this now? You know, we've got as far as we're going to get with it, and the audience is only going to be the ones that are the audience now. It seems to me that motovlogging doesn't really hit the buttons with a lot of bikers. If you think of all the bike world out there, and the amount of people that watch motovlogging is very small, and that tends to be the motovloggers watching each other. You know, I know I've got people who are not motovloggers, a lot of them, but a lot of them are. And how can we expand the audience? How can we get out there and get a bigger audience for ourselves? I personally think that we're not being looked at enough by media. You know, you have the bike show on telly with the boring old fart building old bikes and stuff like that. I'd rather walk out to the sea in Felixstowe drowning, but there you go. Just my opinion, just how it is. I find it boring. I think we should have a little bit more media attention. You know, there is motovloggers out there with huge great channels, and they could probably work a little bit better with media to boost what we're doing here. I think they could. Watch it here, I think it's 40 miles an hour. Yep. Yeah, I think they could work with media to give us a little bit more of a boost and get what we're doing over to people, make it more interesting. You know, people like me are very limited. I've got one camera and just me. Very limited editing skills, so I have to use Movie Maker. So, you know, these other people who are good at editing and probably better at talking and making things more interesting, if media would work more with them, I think the whole thing would get better for everybody, you know. That's just how I'm thinking about it at the moment. I don't want motovlogging. Speak back, my friend. I don't want motovlogging to get stale, you know, and just get into this rut, and we don't go anywhere with it, you know. We just amble along, not changing or evolving or anything like that, and then at the end of the day just die on the vine, you know, just die like a flower, you know, at the end of the season, which would be sad, you know. But I don't know, let me know what you think. Where are we going? Do we need a change? Do you think we could expand the audience? Because I don't think we are at the moment. I think the audience is quite static. It's not getting any bigger, I don't think. And like I said earlier, a lot of the bikers are not interested, or they're not aware of it as such. And so yeah, give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Well, I started at one church and I'm going to finish at another. So we're going to finish here. Going to finish here at Balsted Church. We started at Hemmingstone and now we're at Balsted. So, if you let me know how you feel about what I've said, be great. All I can say is, all ride safe. Love each other. Suffolk Andy.